Hello, everyone. Welcome to Magical Me. I'm Jamie Mendez, and this is my weekly Moonday Oracle reading for the week of May 19th, 2025. So, I did try to go live earlier quite a few times today, and between being locked out of Facebook and then getting back onto Facebook and my tablet not working, and then the internet connection not working, I took that as enough said. Like, I no longer need the sign that I'm not meant to go live today. So I am a bit rebellious, and I'm trying to do the reading anyway, so I'm going to try to do this via video. I will just tell you that I will apologize in advance if I start to cough at all. I have been working through since last Monday when I was not able to be here on that Scorpio full moon. I've been working through some allergies and some congestion, so I'm just tends to be whenever I talk about healing or something specific, my throat chakra starts to go a little crazy. So I am still clearing out and releasing some things. So I may cough. So just giving you a heads up in advance. Apologies if so. Thank you for being patient with me. So, with that said, I talked quite a bit before Facebook Live shut me down. I talked quite a bit about things that were going on astrologically this week. It's a pretty big week. Last Monday was our Scorpio full moon, which is the alchemist. So, it's releasing, cleansing, clearing, and asking us to really just be aware, take accountability for what was coming up for release. Just giving a quick example of that without going too much into details, just how I was able to recognize that was as a metaphysical healer. I did recognize that with my lungs and respiratory and the coughing and the congestion and things that were coming up, one, mucus in itself is believed to be one of the biggest carriers of density. So when I was releasing that, it shows that we are releasing there's something old that needs to be cleared out of specifically my body. And sometimes it can be an emotional, mental thing as well. And in our pattern, and the physical layer is the last layer. And so that's the layer that it often does tend to come out on. If you think about when our bodies, when we're sick, our body tends to dispel some sort of mucus. I know it's not a lovely topic, but it does. It tends to dispel some sort of mucus. It's our body's way of fighting out and clearing out infection, or just something that is there and needs to go. And so it's that cleansing, that clearing of our physical bodies. And then for me specifically with the lungs and heart chakra, many of you know my story. I myself have been obviously dealing with grief over a period of time. Lungs actually do hold grief. So it's where grief resides. So it is associated on a metaphysical I guess you could say in metaphysical terms, it's associated with grief. So that in itself coming up to be released with that Scorpio full moon. Now, why? Saturn moves into Aries this weekend on the 24th. Saturn is believed to be or has been set to be, dubbed the Lord of Karma, and helps us to deal with or recognize karmic cycles, or it's where some karmic closure needs to happen, or where some karmic cycles are coming up for awareness. So, with that said, we're releasing outdated karmic patterns, karmic cycles, situations. So it's that Scorpio full moon was asking us to really take accountability for what was coming up, what was being wanted to be released. Bringing it to our awareness helps us to take that power into our hands to make those necessary shifts, or just to become aware of something is half the battle of releasing. Sometimes it's that click into place that it's all that needed to happen. So from that point, we've got Uranus conjunct the sun today. With that happening, Uranus is like ground shaking. It is like the lightning bolt, that electric jolt to shock you and awaken you into action. We've got Karma with our Saturn, the Lord of Karma, helping us to birth a new karmic cycle. So all the way up from last week, and probably longer than that, but with that alchemy energy of Scorpio, it was helping us to make those necessary transformations. We were in motion, we were in transition as we were going through essential transformations and changes within ourselves, within our minds, within our likes, our lives, etc. So Saturn moving into Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. To me, that suggests there's a new beginning happening here. It's like the energy of motivation, of fire, of, again, with more of that alchemy and that energy to take action, to also bring things into form. So, with that said, that new karmic cycle's being born at this time. With all of those things and all of that awareness, it does help you understand what might be going on in your life, how you can become aware of those old patterns, and what you do in the here and now shapes the future of your circumstances and of your reality. So, helping you to let go of what no longer can go with you, helping you to then embrace that path of what you are being guided towards, what you're being shown, what you're being drawn towards, what you desire. All of those are showing that you can start a new karmic cycle in your life. And now, karma not meaning bad or good, but just is what it is. It is exactly what you're putting your energy into. But we no longer have to play out those old karmic cycles. Okay, so with that said, I'm not going to go over too much of news and announcements, but I do just want to say, please go over and check out Oracles of the Light page. That is my sister business with my beautiful partner in light, Karen, and together we bring magic, healing, and wisdom to others to help empower themselves, to help make essential changes on their journeys. And we have some events going on, specifically Crystal Bingo at our shop in Easton, Pennsylvania, next Wednesday, May 28th. It's a really fun activity and event, opportunity for community to come together, connect with people like yourself, and just take part in some fun games, win some really awesome prizes, and there's more information in the event. Go over on Oracle's page, check that out, and also check out our other events and what we have coming up. Some really big ones for June, especially with our fairy festival on the solstice. So absolutely check those out. With that said, I want to keep this rolling because I don't want this to be too long, considering I'm uploading at this time. So I've decided to work with the Oracle of the Shapeshifters, which is really relevant, considering we are going through changes and transformations right now. And shapeshifter just being a term of someone who has the ability, especially like Scorpio, alchemy, just somebody who has the ability to adapt, to change, to move in flow versus rigidness and going against the flow and going against the grain, which really does, that's one of the reasons I do these readings, is to help us move more in flow with the energy of the week. Because when we go against the flow, that resistance makes things so much more challenging for ourselves. Not only that, we sometimes then have to face patterns and cycles over again and repeat them over again, instead of being able to open up and allow the universal flow to move you and carry you where you're meant to go, not versus where sometimes we think we are supposed to go or what is for us, but it's really not. So this helps us have that awareness. Also, shape-shifting is somebody who has the ability to do that. So with that said, take a nice deep breath in and release, grounding your energy as we now focus on receiving divine wisdom, guidance, and insight for the greatest good, for the collective, for the week of May 19th, 2025. What do we all most need to know at this time? The Black Cat. I love this. My black cat, Hazel, actually has been acting a little bit out of character this last couple of days. So I find that very interesting. But the number of the card is a 30. So a 3, which is what? The birthing of a new cycle. It's also one cycle coming full circle, which means that there is the crossroads. And I don't know about all of you, but I've really felt crossroad energy this whole last week. Hecate, the goddess of the crossroads, has been coming up into my awareness quite a bit. This isn't the time of the year that we ordinarily associate with Hecate, but She absolutely is making herself known. So I do feel like on a collective level, she's just the archetype that embodies the energy of us being able to make a choice, that we are at that crossroads. So 3 coming full circle there, showing us that we have the choice. Engage in the old cycles, stay in the old, or embrace the new and make those necessary changes. Or even if you don't know what to do to make those necessary changes, allow. Just allow. Step back, throw your hands up, and open yourself up and say, I'm ready to receive what is in alignment with my highest and greatest potential, what is for me at this time. And anything else that feels heavy, that feels challenging, it's your sign. Let go. Let it be. If it's meant, it will transform on all of its own accord, and it will move into alignment and flow more harmoniously for you. If it's not meant to, it won't. And that's okay. It's no longer part of your story, no longer meant to be. We take with us the wisdom that we gleaned from that, and we carry ourselves forward, moving with and conscious awareness of everything that we've experienced with those situations or those cycles. So the black cat, interestingly, the black cat does get a bit of a bad stereotype. I won't go into the why and where that originates from. Some of you might already know this, but I will say that it is just that, a superstition. It is a stereotype. And in all actuality, the black cat is magic. All cats, magic. They have this ability to shapeshift, but the ability to walk with us between the worlds. They have the ability to see where we can't, where they can protect us in the spirit realms. They can protect our energy fields. They can see and sense what we don't see, what we don't know, is there not necessarily for us. They are guardians of the gateway, and they are our guardians, whereas dogs are more of our physical protectors in that, in the physical presence. But the cats walk between the worlds, and they are sacred for that. Now, the color black is a powerful color. It does represent power. It is the presence of all colors. And so it does have the ability, presence or the absence of all colors. So it is that power of the one. It does represent protection. It does represent, again, creating that sacred power energy and that sacred space around us when we work with the color black. It is very deflective as well, so it does deflect any negative energies that might come to you. So black being very powerful, but also when a black cat crossed your path, instead of it seen as bad luck, it's actually an omen of good luck. Because of its power, because of its ability to protect, it actually does represent positive energy coming into your life. It shows that you have support in between the worlds, that things are working. There are energies helping to assist you, working for you, protecting you as you walk your path here in the physical. It also represents good fortune, positive omens, so contrary to what we were taught to believe. So that in itself can be taken as an energy to adopt, to embrace this week. Knowing, it's like I heard something today and it said something about if you knew that you could change your mind, if you knew that you could change a belief, if you knew that you could change the circumstances just with your mind, why wouldn't you do it, right? So it's just like that. It's embracing the message of there's a metaphorical black cat crossing my path at this time, walking beside me through life, protecting me on this newfound path, in this unexplored new territory, this new cycle that I find myself in, or as I make necessary changes in my life that might seem difficult or scary, I have a black cat walking beside me metaphorically. I embrace good fortune, positive omens. I embrace good luck because that is what I want my circumstances to be. So you have the power to change and shift it with it. So if you are a shapeshifter, so too can your circumstances be shifted, right? So lost magic, atonement, and rebalance is what the card says. So we are being One, those circumstances where we may have lost ourselves, those cycles we may have had to walk through and experience, they were not us. They were not who we are meant to be. They were part of our story, and they are meant to be accepted as that. They aren't meant to be cast out, shamed, or discarded. They are meant to be acknowledged. They are meant to be embraced as part of a whole, and they are meant to be carried with that wisdom forward, but releasing what you no longer need of that you don't have to carry in your life. So where things have been out of balance, where you have had to go through a more, let's say, potentially difficult or challenging karmic cycle, it was because your soul needed to go through those experiences. You needed to learn some lessons. You needed to clear some cycles, whether they were yours, ancestral, etc. You had to walk through those because there was some necessary experiences. There's some enlightenment there for your soul to move into the next level that you now needed. In order to be able to level up, you needed that. But now you have the ability, you have the opportunity to transform your circumstances. Where things were out of balance, you are now being brought into rebalance. You are able to bring back the magic if you choose. Remember, this is all about you, acknowledging how incredibly powerful you really are and how much you have to change of the circumstance. Excuse me. I knew that was bound to happen at some point. And yes, so I'm supposed to walk my own talk as well, apparently. As I myself am going through, like I said, lots of transformations and changes. So recognizing that what you feel like you lost or even are losing is realistically an opportunity to rebalance you, because that situation or that circumstance, it actually took you out of balance, and you no longer have to go through that experience if you don't want to. So very important to reflect on those experiences and allow yourself to understand excuse me, but also to accept what about the situation has changed you or is asking you to make changes, or where you can, where you've grown is really more so what I want to say. So some of these situations that seem like they're falling away from your life, or you're just not in alignment with anymore, it's like the scarecrow in the card there is giving me that feeling. It's like meant to scare things away. Exactly that. These situations are meant to be moved out of your life. It's trying to, there are these, your higher self or divine forces and circumstances that are actually protecting you, even though they don't seem like it. A scarecrow looks scary, but realistically what it's doing is protecting the crop, right? It's keeping the, I don't know if I want to use the word predators, but it's keeping that in which would take from it, not serving it, which would cause harm. It's keeping it at bay. So that is our message for this week. We are being brought into balance. We are being rebalanced. There's an opportunity for to claim our magic back from where we had lost it, or where we had to, fall into an experience that wasn't necessarily us. And we are now shedding more of the not us in order to come more into the authentic us. All right. So deep breath. Throw your hands up. Let go and let be. What is meant to be will be. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being patient with me. My goodness. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for, always supporting and coming on to see the weekly Moonday readings. I hope that you have a blessed and magical rest of your week. Take care.